5 days ago, I didn't know who you were. My colleague mentioned your name and breaking India and being different. I went on the net. Over the past 1 year, I've been reading a little bit of mythology, quite a bit of mythology, and finding a sense of pride within it. And I was reading quantum physics some time back. And I went on your site and went into your research on indianscience.org and downloaded all the papers. In the last 3 days, I've read most of them. In 1 hour today, what I've learned about various religions, I didn't know in 38 years of my life. So, great work. I'm sure this book will be an eye-opener for many of us, youngsters or not so young. And I truly wish, as you said, someone should teach it. Because the sense of pride, you mentioned somewhere in your blogs that India is open to embracing the West, but it has to first learn to embrace itself.
Yeah. That's a very good comment. Thank you very much for that. My feeling is that I am trying to encourage people to understand our civilization, create a sense of unity in diversity amongst ourselves, and be world citizens, very proud world citizens, always respecting others but demanding respect for ourselves. I call this mutual respect, which means I respect you but I want you to respect me also. I am not imposing on you that you are inferior, you should be like me, and I don't want you to do that to me. It's a level playing field. I mean, that's pretty fair. We got to teach it to our kids. Idea is I want to get into academics, I want to get into spiritual groups, and the idea is to educate corporate leaders how to project our civilization in their dealings around the world. You see, the East India Company started the study of Indology in Europe, not because they loved us, not because it was fun, but because studying somebody gives you power over them. If I study you and map you in my framework, and in fact I even convince you that you should think of yourself the way I'm thinking of you, I get a lot of power over you. So this is the only way to reverse it, is that we have to do it in reverse. That's the problem. That's the challenge. Now I live in the US, and I must say I'm very disappointed in my other fellow diaspora people who are making huge amount of money, many times what I'm making, but they're living the good life. They have no sense of a higher cause than just accumulating, which to me is so boring, such a boring life after a while. And they are also mixed up on, are we here, are we there, and all of that. So they're not fully accepted as whites. If you ever think that Western universalism, being digested into Western universalism is a great idea, then you have to look at the fact that the diaspora people who are even billionaires still have this Indian identity out of necessity, because they're still going to be second class. I mean, Harvard will take Tata's $50 million donation and put it on their building and give him honor. People are trying as hell with all their money to kind of buy their way in or become honorary whites, but at the end of the day, you're going to be second class because they know that system, they know their system better, and you're going to be resident there. So we have to do like the Chinese do. The Chinese are claiming an alternative pole in world power, not under the West, not beholding to the West under their umbrella in Western universalism, but creating their own. And Japanese showed this long ago that we can be modern, technocrats, world class, but remain Japanese, and Japanese never gave up that sense of who they are. You can also be vulnerable. If you are very self-organized, but an army comes that is highly centrally organized, and they'll take orders, commands from a central authority, and they'll do it, and you guys will debate and discuss and do purva, paksha and argue and all that, you may be a more creative lot, you may be a more evolved lot, your art will be superior, dance, music and all that will be superior, but those guys, as far as brute force is concerned, may actually come and beat you. So I think we have several problems. One of the problems historically over the last 1,000 years is invader after invader came. We did not do purva paksha on them to figure out who are they, why are they here, what's their mindset. Let's send scholars to Makkah and Iran and Turkey and come back with social sciences and philosophy and comparative thought and tell us what's their mindset like. We should have been educating our people about them like they were learning from us, learning about us. And even when the Europeans came, we never sent our scientists to figure out in France and Germany and England what are they all like and come and teach us in our centers of learning. So the Chinese, on the other hand, the Chinese were always translating European thought into Mandarin. This is very interesting, you should know that. When Hegel would produce something, within 10 years, the Chinese emperor would have it translated into Mandarin, make sure all the Chinese thinkers know this is the European thought. When Voltaire was writing stuff, Mandarin editions were available. We did not translate European thought, Islamic thought, to study it as the other. They translated us into their framework. We were very happy to even help them. Our Pandits actually helped them translate. But we didn't gaze at them because it was either arrogance, we thought we were too superior, we thought we were not vulnerable. So we just never bothered to study what their mindset is and what they're all about, what is their intentions. This is the problem. So I'm trying to introduce a new genre of learning among our thinkers and leaders, which I call reversing the gaze. Reverse the gaze on our own terms, study them.